It's our belief that people with disabilities have much to contribute to our community and the economy. However, that contribution to be fully realized, we, all of us in the room, need to sustain our public education and outreach efforts on their behalf. With this project, we're hoping to provide a forum where our speakers' comments will potentially resonate with the employers in the room and inspire them to take action.
When I go around British Columbia and talk to persons with disabilities, their families, their friends, and organizations, it's about being included. It's about being access to recreation, to culture, to social networks, and of course, employment. I've had an opportunity to meet many large employers and small employers in British Columbia in the last several months. And one thing that often comes up is people talk about the concern about having labor shortages going forward. And a prime example, have any of you people in this room ever heard or met Mr. Mark Wafer from Ontario? I believe off the top of my head here, he has about 9 Tim Hortons franchises in Southern Ontario. Half his workforce is persons with disabilities. And I said, well, why do you do it? He goes, first of all, it's the right thing to do. Second of all, there's a great business case to do it. He says, every time I lose an employee, it costs my business $4,000 in lost productivity. He also told me that when he hires a person with disability, they stay on average for about 5 years. He says a person without disability stays in the franchise of fast food for about an average of 9 months. He says it's incredibly important for me to do this. About 50% of employees are persons with disabilities. He does it because it's the right thing to do, it's the right bottom line thing to do, and he's an incredibly successful individual.
So by the spring of 2011, we'd worked out all of our logistics around employment, and we started off in April of that year with Paul and his partner Penry, working on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 10 o'clock in the morning till 1 o'clock in the afternoon. They're able to go wash about 10 cars over 3 hours, and works up to a car about every 15 minutes or so. They take their role out there very, very seriously. To Paul, and now it's Pam and Patrick, they take the job very seriously about making sure that those vehicles look sharp when they get out on the road. But the real savings comes in the 1 hour turnaround that our members aren't involved in taking those vehicles downtown, waiting in the lineup, waiting to get it driven, or waiting to get it washed and then driving it back again. That savings is about an hour of their time, and it equates to about $40. And if you multiply that, our savings is close to $20,000 each year. And that's a huge savings for us. I don't think you can underestimate the benefit of inclusion. And we police a community, an entire community. And that community includes folks like Patrick and Pam and Paul.
Yeah, it's really good to work for the Sands Police Force.
Working with us, I mean, I know it provides you with a little bit more of an opportunity around some additional funding and that. Is that important to you to have that extra funding, that extra money?
Yeah, it is for my carpentry work and trying to keep the house up to par, which I'm quite good at lately.
We opened our Hillside store, and they told me I would need 12 staff, and we were incredibly busy. We had the gift of, and the luxury of a ton of sales, and I actually needed 40 staff. Pat came in to see me, Pat Ellison from CLB, one day, and noticed that we were having difficulty keeping the shelves full, and said, you know what, I have an employee that I think could help. And I have to admit, I had reservations when she said that she wanted me to hire a person with a disability to stock shelves for us in the deli while we served customers. And I think that really that came from my own fears surrounding my leadership ability. What was this going to mean for me? It was absolutely astounding to see this person come in with this bright smile on their face every day, feeling proud of the job that they were doing, and bringing that enthusiasm to our culture in our deli department in that particular deli. It changed our team, absolutely changed our team. People were in a bad mood that day. This individual would come in and people couldn't help but have a smile on their face. Very much the same as Jeremy is when we work together today. So I was sold. And by the time I was a store manager at the Admiral store 4 years ago, I phoned her, said, you know what, I've got positions in the store. I've got positions that need people that you have that I know will enrich this store and bring meaning to this store. And I've been doing that ever since. I've hired hundreds of people over the years now with varying abilities. And the one thing I've noticed about people is that we all have strengths and weaknesses. I've got people I've employed that are fantastic at customer service, but it takes them forever to put products on the shelf. I've had people that are excellent at getting products on the shelf, but can never put their head up and smile. And that's the same for every single employee that walks into your business, that you're gonna have their strengths and weaknesses and things that you need to work on them with. And that every single individual you take time with to develop. So I would encourage all of you to look at this avenue. It's been so enriching for me and for the other employees in our store. So can you tell everyone what you do at the store right now, Jeremy?
I pack groceries, do the buggies, help out with customer service, and I clean the bathrooms and make them really clean.
And what about the social activities we do in the store? Do you come to any of our social events?
Yes, I have. I've liked those.
What was your favorite?
The
What did you do recently?
and been bowling.
Temp and bowling, yeah, you were excellent at that.
I know, I bet everybody on my team.
And what about the extra money you make? What do you do with the extra money you make by working at Thrifty Foods?
I put it away for trips and for my special events too.
Yeah. And what's your favorite part about working at Thrifty Foods?
I like to work with everybody.
Awesome.
Everybody's my family there. I like to come in and pass out everybody their days, and yeah.
It's true, and we love to see Jeremy come in, and I tell you, our customers know Jeremy.
And so, you know, we're not just lecturing you here today. At GT Hiring Solutions, we're involved as well. We have a young woman who comes in and helps us with our maintenance and cleans our computer keyboards and waters our plants. And it's been a really fun experience. And if we had more opportunity, we'd take advantage of that.
There was a study done by Neil Romano that came out with the results that said that when product and price are comparable, 88% of the public would prefer to shop at a place that hires people with disabilities than another competitor. 88%. There's a million ways to make a living, and there's a job for everyone. I fully believe that. But it's a matter of getting that right fit, that right match, and that's our responsibility to make sure that we're not just, you know, fitting square pegs, round holes kind of idea, right? We have to pay attention to what your business needs are, and then match that with the right employee. Probably the most impacting story I have is when I did work for Neil Squire Society. I was working with a woman, I'll just call her Michelle. She had no arms. She was a formaldehyde baby, and but she took a legal secretary course, and she was super friendly. She was very competent, but she could only type 45 words a minute with her toes. And if anybody needs to hire a legal secretary, you'll know they're looking for about 75 words a minute or more. But we met with one of our lawyer friends that's a personal injury lawyer. And so they started chatting, and he started, you know, asking her all sorts of questions, and he couldn't help but say, "Can I see you type?" Right? So she gets her, you know, the mouse down and the keyboard down and so on, and off she goes, right, just typing away. And he's like, "That is incredible. That's just phenomenal. I can't believe you can type so well with your toes." He hires her, right, to be his front end person. 6 months later, he had to hire another partner because he had so much business. And he asked a client, he said, "Why me? Why did you pick me?" And he goes, "Well, obviously, Michelle has had some sort of injury or something, and you've got her working here, and so you're a decent guy. We trust you. We trust you immediately. If you treat your staff well, you're going to treat me well. I just trust you." These strings represent job seekers that are looking to be able to contribute to your business. I see it in the lives of our individuals that we serve. And I can tell you that there have been people that have been nonverbal, head down, like a flower that's somewhat wilted. They get a small part-time job, and all of a sudden they start blooming. And then they have the audacity to get a girlfriend or a boyfriend. And then they go on to get engaged and get married and take trips and have fulfilling lives. And it's because you offered a part-time job, right? I can't tell you how impacting that can be for people's lives. This is hung either at Community Living Victoria or at GT Hiring, or maybe they'll take turns. And they'll take a picture of the completed project so you'll be able to see how you've changed this community's culture by weaving your business through the lives of the job seekers.